It's time for your Low Country Real Estate Market Update. It's the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show. Brian is one of the top 1% real estate agents in Charleston. Find him online at listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Or call him at 843-345-1273. Now, broadcasting from the WTMA studios, here's your host, Brian Beatty.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA. So good to be here today. I have so much to discuss with you guys about the real estate market, what's happening. If you go and you do a little Google search for real estate news, by now all of you have likely seen, if that's something you've been doing, that the real estate market is starting to shift. And this is something I've been talking about for over 2 years at this point, preparing you guys for this shift. And now that it's becoming mainstream media, I really want to dive deep into that today. Help you guys better understand what's happening in a national, regional, and local market and perspective so that you guys can better understand how to use that information to your advantage. It's not just information that's important. It's what we plan on doing with it that really is important. How do we take that information and develop some expectations and a plan to get you the best results possible if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate? And that's what this show is all about. So, quick side note, if you'd like to contact me at any point in time, if you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate, my team and I have done over 1,000 transactions here in the Charleston market. We've been in the top 1% of agents every year for about a decade now in the Charleston market. We'd love to earn your business. So if that's something you're considering, either late this year or sometime next year, feel free to give me a call or text me. And it's my cell phone number that I'm going to give you. The number is 843-345-1273. Again, that's 843-345-1273. Or you can always go to my website, listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Learn more about myself and my team, who we are, what we do, what we sell, how we sell it, all that stuff. And there's a bunch of information on that website. So good resource for you guys to check out, listingsincharleston.com. So I want to talk about the state of the market. I want to talk about, really from a seller's perspective, as markets start to shift, a lot of you are going to kind of be caught with your pants down. You're not going to know that you're in a shifting market until you're 6 months into your agreement and your agreement with your first real estate agent has expired. And then you actually get some agents through the door that know what they're talking about. And they say, yeah, you're overpriced. You're incorrectly positioned. I'm not surprised it didn't sell. Here's what we can do differently to get back on track, reposition the property, and get it sold. So I want to make sure that for those of you that are listening that have your home on the market, that have had it on the market, planning on putting it on the market, that you listen carefully, because there's going to be some really good information here in the first half of the show as it relates to market dynamics. And then later in the program, we're going to talk about what happens when you overprice a house. Why is that not a good idea? Are there instances in which it's a good idea? Maybe. I'm not going to tell you the answer right now. And then, of course, a little later on in the program, I'm actually going to reveal some really exciting stuff that we're doing on my team. And I'll just give you a little teaser. If you sell a home and buy a home with my team, we're going to move you for free. We're going to pay your moving expenses. We are all about making things easy for people on my team and creating a truly unmatched, unforgettable real estate experience. And that comes with making things easy for you guys, creating the results that you hire us for, being passionate about our jobs, having integrity, doing what we say we're going to do, and really just making it all about you. It's about the service. It's about the experience. It's about the results. And we understand that at a very high level. So we're going to talk about that at the very tail end of the program. So let's talk about just where we are as a market right now. And if you look at this time last year, interest rates were a hair under 4%. In fact, in 2016, they actually dipped a little bit below 3.5%. So now they're over 5%. And we've all been told for years and years that it was going to happen. And so here we are watching and waiting, for some of you, as the market begins to transform in front of our very eyes. And again, this is something that I started talking about actually in June of 2016. I was a little curious to see when I actually started talking about this, and I keep records, obviously, of every show that I've ever recorded on WTMA, which I'm proud to say I've been doing for 5 years now. And so back in June of 2016, which, by the way, was a fantastic month in our local market. Fantastic month. I mean, really, we were just going gangbusters as a real estate market, selling you know what out of everything. And so this is something that I said in June of 2016. So, quote, our real estate market is going to continue to be the same as it is right now, a seller's market for a little while longer. But if you're considering selling your house, you've got a little time to be flexible with your timing. But if you're a buyer, you might as well take advantage of low interest rates while they're still here, because this gravy train has to stop at some point. And frankly, unless your profession is to monitor the health of the local, regional, and national economy and the impact that has on our local real estate market, you're not going to know about a shift in the market until you're in the middle of it. So sometimes, end quote. So sometimes the best offense is a good defense. Or to throw another analogy at you, don't do what everybody else does in a shifting market and slowly peel that Band-Aid off. Rip it off. It's going to hurt either way, because we all have a tendency to look backwards, not forwards. I'm talking about price reductions. I'm talking about repairing your home, whereas 2 years ago, you might not have had to do certain things. But when a market shifts, your tactics must shift. And if your realtor doesn't know how to do that because they've never been through it, then you're probably in for one heck of a ride. That doesn't apply to everybody. I mean, I'm talking to the people in the markets where the shift is already occurring. Some of you will be just fine. You still have the ability to get multiple offers. You won't really feel it at all, at least not right now. Other sellers are in for a bit of a rude awakening, in my opinion. When they list their home with an agent that paints this picture of a beautiful seller's market with rainbows and butterflies and the ability to get you what you want when you want it. And I think they're looking straight up at the sky, and they don't see the storm brewing that's kind of just past the horizon. So you better hope you sell it quickly before the storm reaches you as well. And this all sounds a little, doom and gloom, right? I guess what makes me different from so many other realtors out there is that not only have I been through a full real estate cycle in my career, I've also been very successful in it. I know how to position my clients for success. So we know interest rates are going up, which when coupled with prices that are still going up in some areas, it creates an issue of affordability. If you look at the polls, the majority of people right now think interest rates are going to rise. Interest rates, again, they crossed 5% for the first time in 8 years. Now, 5%, that's still a very low number historically. But there is a certain, kind of like punch in the gut that comes with crossing the 5% mark, because it's just one step closer to 6%, which may very well happen, by the way, in the next, 12 to 18 months. Who knows? I'm not going to give any sort of projection like that. But when you talk to lenders, when you talk to people that are in that industry, they very much so believe that 6% is a possibility this time next year. And so I want to focus for just a second on millennials. Millennials are in their prime home buying years right now. And they're used to cheap credit, by the way. So they might be in for a rude awakening as mortgage rates jump. I mean, historically, 35% of home sales and 46% of home purchase loans were from first-time home buyers. If you look at last year, 38% of home sales were first-time home buyers and 56% of home loans were for first-time home buyers. So while more people now think that it's a good time to buy, which this is all according to monthly sentiment surveys that are done from Fannie Mae, more people also think that mortgage rates will continue to go up, and more people are concerned about keeping their jobs and growing their incomes. The other thing to watch is that total annual sales right now are expected to come in lower than last year. I mean, obviously, affordability is the culprit. You've got rates, of course, now that are a full percentage point higher than they were a year ago. And if you think about it, a $300,000 mortgage, that difference is $200 a month. That knocks some buyers out of qualification because lenders are very strict still on how much debt a borrower can carry in relation to their income. So for buyers that are inclined to buy right now, they're doing the same thing that they've been doing. They go online, they see the lack of available inventory. They look to see if any of it meets their needs, and then they decide on whether or not they can afford the monthly payment. And in the sense of 5%, it takes some first-time home buyers out of the market, which impacts demand. But it also, if you think about it, it also impacts move-up buyers. If they can't find anything they're excited about buying or at least paying for, then they're not going to list their home for sale, which contributes to the overall lack of inventory for first-time home buyers. And right now, the first-time home buyer market is strong. The stronger economy has definitely kind of fueled demand for housing, but the past few years of incredibly low inventory has pushed prices up too high, too fast. So you've got all these consumers out there that want to become homeowners, but more and more simply can't afford it. And as buyers start to, kind of pull back and continue to rent or stay at their parents' house, or they just can't afford to buy, that is a significant impact that is going to change the landscape of our market. Higher rates, it's just going to throw some cold water on the overheating house prices, in my opinion. Sellers are going to see demand start to fall off, and their houses are going to start to sit on the market for just a little bit longer and a little bit longer and a little bit longer. And then, much like what's happening already, the number of price decreases is going to start increasing. That's going to be a signal that, hey, the market is coming back down to earth a little bit, all right? We're not in this stratospheric seller's market like we've been in for the past few years. Prices are, in my opinion, unlikely to start dropping, but the annual gains that we've been seeing, those are going to start to shrink. Yeah, I still think we're going to see a little bit of price improvement year over year, but the rate by which they're increasing is going to slow down. And so really the question is this a turning point in the housing market? Is this enough to push us over the edge and return us to normalcy? I don't think we have enough information yet to answer that question. I'm going to give you my opinion on that when we come back, though. Stick around. This is the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. And, of course, if you want to reach out to me, learn more about myself, my real estate team, how we can help you, remember our Move for Free incentive. If you sell and buy a home with us, we'll pay for your moving expenses on top of everything else we do and all the other incentives and guarantees we offer. But for more information, go to 843-345-1273. That's 843-345-1273. Call or text that number or visit our website, listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Find Brian Beatty online at listingsincharleston.com. The Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues next on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA.